Let's move on to A's news, Julio. We have a former Oakland great and Hall of Fame induction, so go ahead.
Tip of my invisible cap. Sean Anthony Manaea, 2016 through 2021. He won, I don't have the map in front of me, 50 career games, lost 41 through no-hitter, and was easily the most lovable person in the A's clubhouse during his tenure. Sean, your hypothetical gift card to Drake's car dealership will be shipped to you because you're going to San Diego where there's a lot of great beer.
This one was pretty shocking because they were just so deep into spring training. It was like at this point, you just assume that they had decided to just hold on to him, like they gave up on talks. A lot of people know my opinion who listened to this podcast because I tweeted it. I felt like it was a pretty shit haul for a very consistent above average pitcher. But it was also awkward too because they were playing the Padres that game. So he literally just went from one clubhouse into the other one and just put on a new uniform. And yeah, it was weird.
With this green glove still.
Yeah.
Too.
It was I think it was a home game for the A's too. It was at Hohokam. So it was he came in because he got traded during warmups. So he came in was in the clubhouse hanging out, was was getting ready to go out in the field and do warmups, and then they just oh well, you have to go in the other dugout now. And then he pitched that game. I don't know. It was just really weird. So fucking weird.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this. I know you're pretty high on the Padres rotation because I know you're a big Mike Clevenger guy.
Yeah.
But now they just 1 through 4 is pretty damn good with Yu Darvish, Manaea, Joe Musgrove, Mike Clevenger. And now their fifth hole, you're pretty much, it's probably going to be Mackenzie Gore. I know they have a couple other guys who are kind of shuffling in and out, but Blake Snell, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But for the A's, their return was pretty minimal. They also gave up Aaron Holiday, who was a right-handed pitcher.
Not the best player.
Received, and then they received Adrian Martinez, and who is a right-handed pitcher as well, and Urbel Angeles, a teenaged infielder.
That's what I don't get. We have all we have in our farm system is infielders. Why are we getting more? If anything, we need pitching. Why didn't they trade for pitchers? That's the biggest thing that was bugging me.
Yeah, they really love their infielders right now. I don't know why you're just going to keep adding a surplus. It's kind of like when they're just getting a bunch of catchers. You're why do we have so catchers are different because it just seems like one of those guys could just fall apart at any moment because that's just the nature of being a catcher. But it's just the infield's probably our strength right now, especially seeing how Zach Galloff performed in the spring. A lot of high expectations for Max Muncy. It's why?
Yeah, and with how good of a spring that Nick Allen just had too, that should make you feel pretty good about the future of your infield. I don't know why you would stock up more and try to get more safety nets. I don't know. I didn't understand it at all.
So Martinez, he'll probably be in the bigs at some point this year. He's 25. He actually had a pretty decent year last year between AA and AAA. Had a 3.38 ERA. He had a 2.9 strikeout to walk rate, 125 innings. The big thing is he's got a pretty solid changeup. It's just the command and breaking ball issues where it's kind of fell off. Yeah. And the thing is, the Padres are known for at least the last few years. It's changed a lot because of so many trades they've done of the stellar farm system. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they couldn't make any rumblings and try to take a little chink off the armor that is the Padres farm with these two trades. That's the whole thing I'm bummed about.
Yeah. I don't get
that being said, if you want to play devil's advocate here, Sean's going to be 31. He's had a history of shoulder issues. He's kind of has a volatile away record. There's a reason why when we had these important, winner take all wild card. Oh, when they had the wild card game in 2018. Oh no, he was hurt. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but there's a reason why when he would go to certain stadiums, we'd be like, Sean's gonna get lit up.
Yeah.
And when we go to Yankee Stadium, Fenway, whatever, because he just can't hit and pitch in those parks. So, who knows? I think we're all obviously going to be rooting for him. We're going to be watching him as many starts we can with him and Boma out there. It's going to be weird, but we'll see. But you know what? The past in the past. Let's talk about this goddamn current A's team, which includes somebody who A's fandom just really despise this guy. Anytime you mention his name on A's Twitter, you're going to get at least 5 people being like, he needs to go. Absolutely hate him.
Why is that? Isn't he like, he's just, this is Sky Bolt we're talking about, by the way. Wasn't it something like A's Twitter went down like a deep dive on his Twitter and like found some like not great things or something?
Yeah. So the reason why we're talking about him, he got sent to the IL. He was going to be on the big league roster to start the season. Adam Kolarek was called up, and he actually had like a pretty good outing the other day. So awesome to see him kind of getting things together. But I think it's also a combination.
Adam Kolarek was a big part of that was like kind of the main piece of that trade last
Sheldon Noisy and who's the other guy in that trade?
Yeah, who the fuck was the other person? I'm totally blanking. But yeah, he was supposed to be a bit like a key part of our bullpen last year, and he completely just fell apart. So hopefully we can get it back. Sorry, go ahead.
That's I think it's a combination of one, the very alt-right liked tweets and tweets from him.
Yeah,
that got a lot of fans upset, especially in the Oakland East Bay. A lot of people don't tolerate that shit. So that's one. But 2, the guy's like a 300 hitter in Vegas, constantly tears it up, and he's never figured it out in Oakland. He's been called up so many times, time and time again. He's just not. It's not translating.
Do you think it's kind of counterproductive that our AAA stadium is a hitter's park and our Major League Stadium's a pitcher's park?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because because we get kind of like gun
I know Melissa
shy.
was saying that like it gets a lot of confidence for those guys, but I don't know if that's a good thing.
What gives them confidence though is their coaching there. And guess who's the new hated coach? We got to take a few minutes. I know if Jason Burke listens to this, he's going to be high on this. Motherfucking Tommy Everidge in his first week as the hitting coach. Holy shit. Oh, like night and day. It's only been a week. Don't want to get ourselves excited. The A's are leading Major League Baseball in batting average with runners in scoring position. The freaking A's, who have been terrible for the last few years with that, or middle of the pack. And I wrote in our show notes, I'm just going to call him Big Dick Tommy Everidge.
Yeah.
Because holy crap, man.
It's like leaps and bounds difference from what Darren Bush was doing. Like it's fucking wild. And also like I tweeted out, that the comment, it was actually you said it, but I stole it and tweeted it. How Mark Kotsay is going to be like the Steve Kerr of baseball this year with a different lineup every day. But it's working. Like he's like really being creative in the way that he puts together these guys and who he bats them next to. And they just feed off of each other when guys are in scoring position.
And to kind of deep dive, they play a lot like the Rays, where the Rays don't really have there's no everyday guys that I think Wander Franco is going to be the exception going forward now. But in terms of everywhere else on the field, there is no guy who is there every game, who's going to be playing every game. Even Kevin Kiermaier, who's like a platinum.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a platinum glover, but
I thought you meant for us. I was going to say, Tony Kemp's going to play every day.
Except he wasn't like that. Yesterday, Sheldon Noisy was at second. And then there's going to be some days where Jed's going to be playing second. I think the one everyday guy is probably going to be Elvis.
Yeah. Until
the wheels fall off. And knock on wood, but even like Murph DH today with Austin Allen behind the plate. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Stephen Vogel's going to be behind the plate some games, but it's really cool. Like it sounds like they're kind of really leaning into that, next man up mentality, and it's let's see if it works. And I think a big part of that, like Tommy Evans having familiarity with a lot of these guys too, helps out a lot. Where he's been around dudes like Sheldon Noisy and Seth Brown for years now, probably. So a lot of familiarity there. So I just got to give him his 2 cents. It was last minute addition. I put in the show notes, but he 1000% deserves it.
He's killing it, dude. Yeah, he deserves the credit. I mean, him and Kotze deserves some credit for his strategic batting order. But like, yeah, Tommy Everidge 1000%, and it looked rough that first game, or no, that second game when they only scored 1 run. It was like, oh shit, it's gonna be like this, and then every game since then, it's been at minimum 4 runs a game. Like that's what
there's still a lot of the old problems with kind of the old guard. Like, Chad Pinder still striking out too much.
Yeah,
I felt like he's a lot of that old mentality of what kind of what either if it was Bo Mel, if it was Darren Bush, kind of having that philosophy, but it's a long season. We're first weekend. We're just excited to give us credit. The A's have finally righted some wrongs. If you didn't see in this past week, a fan asked Dave Stewart on Twitter, "Hey, what's going on with your jersey retirement? This was supposed to happen in 2020. It fell off." And he pretty much told the truth. He's like, "I know shit about it." He didn't say that. He's a lot more articulate than that. But he's like, kind of fell off the track, and nothing's happened since then. Of course, you don't disrespect Stu like that. So A's Twitter caught on fire. I'm sure Dave Cavill's mentions were blowing up like they have a lot this last week, which has been pretty funny. So the A's actually have announced 3 events happening this season. One will be the dates are still kind of to be determined, but Dave Stewart retirement ceremony or jersey retirement ceremony is happening. His jerseys, the number 34 will be up in the stands. It's going to be awesome. The 50th anniversary of the 1972 Oakland A's. That's going to be awesome to have there. And then if you want to feel old, it's the 20th anniversary of the 2002 20-game win streak A's. So cool. Are you going to try and make some? I say I'm going to make at least one of these will be great.
Absolutely. I wonder if my parents will go to the jersey retirement because my mom like loves Dave Stewart.
Is that her favorite player?
No, I think Ricky's her favorite player, but he's up there.
I need to ask I think my dad's favorite was Ricky too. My mom's was Dennis Eckersley because she had the hots for him.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Did you see the hair, that mustache?
Those stashes.
So the other thing to kind of go back to more of the baseball talk or this talk on the field, to go a little bit more on that kind of the switching things up the team, the experiment at first base, it's kind of been a little bit of everywhere. So it's been a first base by committee. This past week, Seth Brown was getting majority of the starts, but then we had Billy McKinney was in there, Sheldon Noisy, Stephen Vogt wasn't starting, but he was coming in as like whenever they get a pinch hitter and he'd take over at first. And then Jed Lowry had his first career start. Was that today or yesterday at first? Now we're just going to see our first impressions. Obviously, it's been a week. I don't think there's really been any stellar plays per se.
You don't think someone's running away with the race again? A little.
No,
I feel like Seth Brown's been the best though, especially with his bat.
Yeah, it's especially when just from watching the game, just seeing them hit the crap out of the ball. Once Ramones comes back, Ramone's gonna be playing every day in right field.
Yeah,
and then Pache and then Pinder in left. So it's like, I think this is Seth Brown's job to lose, right?
Yeah, and I think that he's doing a pretty good job right now. I mean, every time McKinney I see him in a box score, or on a line in the lineup or run out the field, I just want to shoot myself in the head. That dude drives me I don't understand why he's on this team anyway. But like I've been pushing for weeks, Sheldon Noisy. I feel like he's the best option for first place. Sheldon Noisy has heavy Max Muncy and energy. Everything about him, everything about his situation, where he played, he just has like a Max Muncy type of feel written all over it. Hits the ball out the park really well. His underrated, good defender. Was DFA'd, played for the Dodgers. See what I'm saying here? See what I'm going for, Julio? I think he could be a Max Muncy level type of guy.
I love it. And then we also have to remember Eric Thames is still just getting his reps in the minors. So
Yeah.
that's going to be another potential guy who could come up and take that position. But yeah, it's a lot of flexibility. Nobody's really stood out. I don't think we've really seen enough of Jed. I was most intrigued by Jed because he's been a career Gold Glove caliber second baseman. So I'm sure there's going to be some translation there, even if he's not your prototypical tall first baseman guy. But I think what we've seen over the last few years is you don't need to be that guy. You just got to be athletic. Like look at Luke Voigt. Wasn't the biggest dude, but dude's got hamstring stretches for days where he can pretty much catch anything, and same as G-Man Choi. So
Lowry's I think this played every single infield position. I just realized that.
Would he play third?
Remember?
Has he played third?
Remember when the Mets stole him from us? He was their third baseman before he got hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, when he signed that big contract, they wanted him there to play third because they had what's his face, Rosario.
Yes, Eddie Rosario. That's right.
Yeah.
But let's see. I think this is definitely probably going to, at least over the next month, this is going to be the most intriguing storyline. Is just will there be an everyday first baseman of this, or are we just going to see this committee? And then I think for you, it's just going to be is Bill McKinney actually going to be on this roster?
Yeah. The committee's working for now. I'm good with it as long as McKinney's not part of it.
Then last but not least, Sean Murphy's ass is now the most famous ass in baseball.
Yeah.
A lot
nailed by one, and it just bounced right off.
A lot of
Twitter loved that.
Interesting videos.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of TikTok sounds over it that do what you will. I think the funniest thing that happened out of it was John Boy Media tweeted out the video, and Grindr's Twitter account replied saying we just became baseball fans. So he was pretty, and I don't have the quote in front of me, but Sean was pretty funny about it. He was just I could hit 4 grand slams in a game, but this is the thing that's gonna be that's gonna make me go famous. And the best part is everybody else was just giving him shit for it.
Yeah.
Tony Kemp retweeted it saying Murph got cakes with 2 cake emojis. James Caprillion was having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I didn't know James Caprillion was so active on Twitter until this week. He's been not just this, he's been talking and he's been interacting with fans and shit like that a bunch. It's been cool.
He's bored, man.
Yeah.
I need your back, dude.
Yeah. It's gotta be what it is. All right, Sean, you're not Sean, you're Julio. All right, Julio, we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back. We're gonna do season predictions as our main segment this episode. So stick around and we'll be right back.